Kinda to you all, I'm Kinsmark, and this is another travelogue covering the trip I took with Violeta and a couple of her cousins to the annual Texas Renaissance Festival. A small summary for those that aren't aware, it's one of the largest medieval fairs in the country. A collection of artists, craftsmen, events, musicians, and vendors of all kinds, hosted every fall at the Campin' Festival grounds a few miles from Magnolia, Texas. One can check it out every weekend for a few months each year, and each weekend is themed. The one we attended this year is called the Highland Fling, a Scottish-themed affair, so ale, kilts, and tartans all around. I actually hadn't gone in several years and couldn't put together any costumery for the occasion this year, though such is always encouraged. I caught a fair amount of footage to share, however, as we spent the day there, so I'll cut straight to it. One of my favorite things about the Renfest is the area itself. Constructed as a mock-up of a medieval town, the entire place just exudes atmosphere from the moment one sets foot inside. The grounds are divided into culturally themed neighborhoods of sort, all centric around classic European nations, and every shop feels alive and unique, and certainly it helps that a lot of their contents are handcrafted, if not at the festival, then for it, and one can even spend time watching some of the artisans at their craft right at their stalls. Some even make a show of it, like the glassblowers and the smith. And then there are the attractions, the contests, the games, the sideshows, and the costumery. Of course, you can't come to the Renaissance Festival without enjoying some fine local cuisine. Like sausage on a stick or a giant turkey leg. A few minutes in, and already I have found an onyx necklace I like, and my knee's given out in the shop and embarrassed me, and thankfully, I think that's a king's procession. Oh no, that's a marriage procession. Oh ho! Someone's having a very good day today. Almost all of this stuff is handmade, and so it's almost always incredibly expensive, and so dangerous to our finances.
So it's a fine day so far. You know, just having the food, you know, getting your one. You know, and it's a local fun, you know, tossing heads about, because, you know, what else are heads for? Certainly not using mine for anything else. You know, admiring all the eye candy and cool costumes, you know, it's a fun time.
One of my favorite things to do at Renfest, honestly, is just to find a comfy corner and just people watch. Because, there's some characters roaming around. I'm worth way more alive, don't worry. So, I've just enjoyed recommendations of the finest drink at all of these establishments from the one and only man himself, Captain.
I did do the captain there, just what me. Black raspberry mead. Phenomenal, fantastical, mystical, undescribable. Beyond recommendation, have to try it. If you don't try it, you're missing out. You're missing Ren Fair. You've got to see the Barbarian Mom shows, you've got to watch the Fire show, and you have to try the Black Raspberry Mead. Those are the three things that make Fair fair.
So we have just one left to check off the list then.
Of course, turkey legs.
Of course.
Of course, turkey legs.
Thank you.
I really do believe you will not be. Oh, and the cheesecake on a stick.
Cheesecake on a stick.
Cheesecake on a stick.
Right.
It really is. It's huge, too. It's like that thick from top to bottom. It's like that thick, and it's a square like
Oh my
that.
goodness.
It is massive. Oh, it's so good. Oh my God, when's my break cake? Oh, it's so good. Yeah, I recommend it. And if you like turkey on a stick, and if you like meats, try that meat, and I think that you'll quickly find that it's favorable.
And then there's this guy. I don't know. Something about this guy. I feel like I'm about to get abducted. Did he just look at the camera? I think he looked at the camera. Now he's looking away. I'm scared. Of course, it ain't much of a festival without shows, and the Texas Renfest delivers in spades, with the large shows for scheduled stages and small courtyard musicians alike. So we just sat in on a little shopside concert from Conrad Charry Garcia, and I was so impressed with this guy. He's a Chilean musician that plays a guitar and pan flute all at once, and covered some classic rock songs as we were there, and they were absolutely fantastic. Cannot recommend him enough. I had to.
We'll put his
create
Facebook page.
Does he have one?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
on the piece of paper I had you
Okay,
look
cool.
at.
Yeah, I'll link to whatever I can for him in the description of this, because that was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had with live music. And I come from a city that touts itself as the live music capital of the world, so take that for what you will.
Yeah. We even bought 2 of his
Yes.
CDs.
Yeah,
original music. I cannot wait to listen to.
Yeah, I haven't heard of these yet, because they're apparently his original work, and the stuff that we heard was covers, so looking forward to it.
Yes.
And there's just so much to see and do. One couldn't possibly see it all in a single day. Shows we missed this year, for instance, that I've enjoyed in the years past include the Falconer, the Insult Contest, the iconic Jousting Tournament, the School of Medieval Warfare, and a plethora of cool and unique musical performances. I only wish we had another day. And apparently there's an entire shop devoted to the crafting of wands. I see this is your kind of place.
Can we go in?
I could use a new recording chair. So apparently they've made some additions to the old sausage on a stick. Now they have cheesecake on a stick, mushroom on a stick, fried shrimp on a stick.
Oh, you're reading.
Yep.
Apologies for the interruption there. This guy immediately heard me say those and asked where to get them.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. There in the distance is the Jousting Arena.
And that giant ship is you guys.
Yeah.
It's the Queen Anne's Revenge.
Oh, nice! So since they were charging $5 for maps and programs at the gate, we haven't got any idea of the schedule for events today. However, just came to the Jousting Arena, and it seems that given the crowd that's already starting to come together here, I think it's safe to say we just might have a show on our hands fairly soon. I spy an assassin in the crowd. You know, for people that are supposed to just camouflage themselves amongst a crowd, they sure do stand out. And as far as I am from him, I can tell from here, that's a pretty killer Edward Kenway cosplay. Kudos to you, sir. So on account of the themed weekend, since this is the Scottish Highland, apparently it isn't a joust show this evening that we just saw. I'm probably cutting this up in a strange timeline. I apologize for that. It's chronomancy. It was Scottish-themed sporting events, the likes of...
It's the Highland Games.
Yeah, so it's stone put, caber tossing. That's pretty much all they did. It was
But they did
awesome.
two-handed paper toss and the one-handed. And
finished
both
the-
of them looked
Oh, yeah.
really heavy.
Yeah, they were incredibly challenging looking, and I was impressed because one of them. Sorry?
Yeah, we're good.
Take your photo? Okay.
No.
Good, thanks.
People are so polite here. I love
I
it.
know. It's so great.
Like, small little tangent. I said this to her earlier. Usually, I'm a fairly antisocial person. Like, we're around crowds, and I'm instantly just like, I hate people. Here, I like people. It's amazing. It's such a relief. Anyway, they finished the event with a one-handed caper toss. And the one guy that actually completed it successfully is apparently a guy that's performed here for a couple of decades, and this was his last weekend with the show, and finished it strong.
Here he goes!
One-handed. And I should clarify as well, I'm not just panning across the same courtyard every time I cut to one of those shots. This festival ground spans miles of area, and this like created village they've put together for the entire grounds, like it's continually expanding. They're adding, what is the Enchanted Knoll we just saw a sign for? That's coming next year. This is already a huge area. There is far too much to see here in just a single day if you're actually going to take the time to enjoy all of the festivities and events and vendors and everything. It's awesome to see how much of it there is concentrated here. This is one of our favorite shows at the entire festival, Cast in Bronze. I think there are a handful, single digits,
There's only like
of
3 or 4 in the world.
the instrument that this guy plays. It's essentially a sort of piano constructed out of bronze bells. It's huge, weighs literally tons, and cannot get moved. Like, they're constructed in place. And the sort of sound
There's
quality
a 5
that one
o'clock
gets.
one, and it's $4.50.
All right, let's settle in for the show then. Sadly, as the sun started to set, our adventure came to a close. One can also stay for closing fireworks displays at the end of each day, though in the interests of heading off the worst of the traffic, because the roads are small and the crowds are not, I haven't ever actually seen it. Maybe if I stayed at camp for the whole weekend at some point. Anyway, that's all I have for this travelogue again, so please check out any of the artists I've mentioned in this video. A lot of them are about as indie as they come, and I love to see people chasing their passion like so many do at these events. So I'll leave links to as many of them as I can find in the description of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I know I certainly did making it. I am Kinsmark here at Less Civil Press, and as always, I wish you all fair travels and Godspeed.